Okay, welcome to the next video. To create this universal join, to connect two rods, for example, one rod here, and then the turning will be transferred to here, and the rods, here's a second rod on this side, then transfer the forces and the turning from one side, from here to the another side. I'm not sure. And we need three parts. We start with the easiest one, with this bolt. We need two bolts, but we need only one bolt to design in our CAD program, because we can then duplicate it. Second is this welded joint here, which is the main part of our universal joint. And we need just one again, because this is a small assembly group of two identical parts, and they are welded here then together. This welding we do also in Inventor. And the third part is this arm. Again, we need two pieces, but we create only one and duplicate this later. And in the last step, we assemble all together to create this universal joint here in Inventor. The details you get on Moodle platform, all the dimensions, and I also show this in this video. I think it's pretty easy to stop the video, to go back if it's too fast to see it again. So I think this video option is pretty good and very useful, because everybody of you have different skills and different some are faster, some of you might be slower, and with the video you can stop and start it however you want. So I think it's pretty good. So we have here the dimension of the bolt. What we see on this sketch here is that we see only half of the bolt, because then we can rotate it, as we show that in the preview video. And maybe I also cut this in half, because this can also be duplicated in Inventor. So we only need to create one side of this picture, then we mirror this to the other side, and in the last step, with the rotation button, we create the full bolt. So that's the plan. I'm switching now to Inventor. I start a new part. Again, this make sure that we have millimeters and not the American units here. We use this metric units. Okay, and create. As we saw that in the video before, we need a sketch in the beginning. I select a plane, and we have here our X and epsilon coordinate system. I can again here start in this, or for the start I use again this center point over here, and I select a rectangle, starting point, the center, and then we can move. Please make sure that you don't hold down the left mouse button. Just click on it and then release it. Okay, now it's free. We can move and we can type in the dimensions. I use only half of the length what we see in the sketch. In the sketch, the total length of the bolt was 92.2. So I just want to have the half of this. So I type in 92.2 divided through 2 because I just want the half. And you see, I use the scrolling wheel and hold down the scroll wheel to move it. And we see it automatically switch to 40 something. I can't see it in the morning, but in the moment. And by clicking escape, I'm out of this. Yeah, so I see this is just the half. I don't need to calculate it by myself. I just can also type in mathematical operations. Yeah, so I divided the 92.2 through 2 and I get it directly. But I missed here the length of this. So this is still free. I can use the measure button here. And I show you how to use it. I select the measure button and then I click on the line, not on the dot, on the green dot. Yeah, this is a middle point, but we don't want a point, we want a line. So a little bit below the middle of the line. And one click, then move your mouse, click again, and then we can type in the dimension. So the whole diameter of this bolt is 16 and therefore I type in 16, but only half because later we want to rotate it. So again, I divide the 16 through 2 and confirm that with the enter button and it's 8. There's a small nut in this area. And we do it in the same way with a small rectangle. So I select rectangle by clicking on the symbol. And then I go here anywhere. And the dimensions, I don't care in the moment. Yeah, so I click on the starting point, one click with the left mouse, and the end point, again, click with the left mouse, and then escape to get rid of these symbols, what we see here. Now again, we need the measure button to place our dimensions. So the length of this nut, let's see, the length is 1.1. So again, not click on the green dot, click on the line. I click once, I move a little bit, click twice, and then I can type in the length of this nut, which is 1.1 millimeter. Okay, the height we can calculate. Yeah, the height of the nut comes from this diameter of 16, but the diameter of the nut is only 15.2. This is what we see here in the drawing. Yeah, the nut has 15.2. That means in total, the difference between 16 and 15.2 is 0.8. 0.8 for both sides, actually. Yeah, so we need it just on one side. So the height or the depth of the nut is 0.4. This button is still activated. So I zoom a little bit in. And now when I want to place a measure or a dimension here, I need to click on both lines. One click on this line and the second click on this line. Then again, move your mouse to find a good position for your dimension and then click, yeah, to select the position. And then you can type in the dimension, which is here 0.4. Last but not least, so this nut has now all the dimension, but last but not least, we need to make sure that the position is right, because now when I'm holding down the mouse button, I can change the position. You don't need to do that. So click again on measure, click on this line and on this line, find a place for the dimension, click again, and then you can type in, and the distance to the end of the bolt is 3 millimeters. That's good so far. You might think, okay, here we miss something. This I do later. I can do it now in the sketch, but I can do this also later when the bolt is in the three-dimensional, is finished in 3 dimension. So I will show you later how we do that. This is good so far, and we click on close, or we click on this button here to close the sketch. I made a mistake because I said in the beginning we mirror that and later we rotate. We can also do it in the opposite way. We can now rotate this and mirror later. Both is fine. Yeah, if I want to mirror it in the sketch, that's possible. Then I use this button here. We have the mirror button here, but I can also do it later because we have also when we already have a three-dimensional part, we can also mirror it. We can mirror the sketch, or we can mirror a 3D part. Both is fine. So therefore I start with the rotation instead of the mirroring. So again, rotate. And what we see now, we have two close sketches, this rectangle and this rectangle. And now we have to decide which one we want to select. Of course, we want to select the big one, and it turns to blue when we clicked on that. And it switched from profile to axis. So now we have to select the rotating axis. In our case here, it is the opposite line of this small rectangle, yeah, the opposite line. So I'm clicking here. First I have to click here, obviously, and then I can click it. Yeah, so make sure that you click here before and then on this line. And we have the preview, but it's not correct because our nut is not there. So when I cancel that, I try again, because here you see it's not selected, it's empty. But when I select the line, now it's better. Yeah, so I think I made a mistake. Yeah, I show it again to you. Click on rotating, click on this profile, click here to select the axis. Yeah, click here and then click on the axis and make sure that we have this empty area over there. And then we can confirm that with OK. It looks good so far, but it's only half of our bolt. And now we want to mirror that. How we can do that? Here we have this mirror button. We click on that. And in the first step, we need to select what element we want to mirror. Yeah, we have only one element here, our turning or rotating element, and therefore we click on that. You see the red line turned to blue, so it's already selected. Yeah, so click on this element. Then we click here on the mirror plane. Yeah, so now we have to select in which flat area we have our mirror. Yeah, so this area is our mirror area. So I click on that and you see automatically the preview, and then I can confirm it with OK. So the bolt looks good so far. When you want to rotate the bolt, please hold down the Shift button on your keyboard, hold down the Shift button and push down your mouse wheel and move it. Move your mouse. Yeah. By holding the Shift button on your keyboard, pushing down your mouse and move your mouse, then it rotates. Yeah. Or you can also use here the view cube by holding down one of these elements, yeah, the left mouse, click on the left mouse, holding down, and then it moves also. Or you can click on the orbit button, then go with your mouse into this orbit area. Outside it's not working. You need to be with your mouse inside of this orbit and then hold down your left mouse and then it also rotates. Release the mouse and make sure that you turn off here this button. Yeah, otherwise it's still rotating. Okay, there's one step missing. Here, these areas, the chamfers, and we click on this button. We have a special feature button for that. Checking our drawing, and we see here this is 1, 1, and 1. So we made this symmetrical, so everything is good so far. You just need here to change it to 1. And the next step is that we need to select this line. Yeah, click on this line. And also on the other side, click on this edge. You see automatically a preview appears, it looks good, and we can say okay. So this is our bolt. It looks good so far. If it was too fast, then of course you can go back in the video and do the steps with the speed you want, which is suitable for you. The last step is that we want to use these two things here, these two buttons. The first button here, generic, means we have to select a material. There are a lot of materials: steel, plastic, glass, wood, whatever. In our case, steel would be good. Steel with some elements. Yeah, an alloy steel would be good. So we click on steel, an alloy, and automatically the appearance of our bolt change. It looks now more like steel and not like yeah, it looks just better. And also this button here changed. Yeah, with this button we can change the appearance. So the first button, the left button, is to give this part a material, and the right button over here is just the appearance, yeah, how the part should looks like. So we can also change it to whatever we want. Steel, of course, but also wood, whatever. So left is for the real properties. Yeah, the properties now are steel with alloy inside. Yeah, so the part is now defined as a part made of steel. And here, this is just how we want to look, or what the part should looks like. Yeah. This is only for the appearance, and these are the properties. Okay, but what we have here is fine. We don't need to change the appearance. It's good so far. So the last step is to save under, please find a folder where you want to save that. I create here a new folder. Joint tutorial. And we give the name Bolt. And you see the file extension is inventor part, and that's okay. And then we save that. Okay, we created our first part. I stop the video here, and in the next video we start with this small welded assembly part.